The peso.
In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. You know your digital self in control, the privacy that you were on a roll. With Solana ID, you were in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID, your reputation grows. Let's do it once more. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID, if your reputation grows. In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. You know your digital self in control, the privacy that you were on a roll. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID, your reputation grows. Let's do it once more. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID, if your reputation grows. In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. You know your digital self in control, the privacy that you were on a roll. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID, your reputation grows. Let's do it once more. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID, if your reputation grows. In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. You know your digital self in control, the privacy that you were on a roll. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID, your reputation grows. Let's do it once more. With Solana ID, you are in control. From the blockchain to the web, we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID, if your reputation reputation grow.
Grow. Na, 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 na. Oh, welcome and GM to Solid Talk number 79. We are here assembling the Solidians again, as every single Saturday, to chat about Solami, to chat about Solana ID, to get more solid together as a community and to survive this interesting phase we're in. Are we in the bear market? Are we in the bull market? We stopped giving a shit because I don't even know how to call it anymore. I think we're in the bear market since a year, probably. It is a prolonged bear market. So what we're going to do today, we're going to take a look at the charts. We're going to take a look at the current situation. Where are we in this crazy world where nation states are fighting each other and crypto seems to be in the back behind AI, which is taking over the world, and Silicon Valley is only talking about AI, and no one gives a shit about crypto anymore. But that is actually not true, and we are showing you every single Saturday why it is not true, because a lot of stuff is happening on Solana. So we do have a good Solana section with Solana updates that are just general ecosystem updates, as we do today, as well. Looking at the charts, of course, and some Solana ID updates. So if you are here with us and you're ready to roll, then make sure to drop a GM. Say hi in the chat so we can say GM back to you. And just be there with us. Be active in the comment section, because this is not television. We can actually see and hear you if you are in the comment section. So feel free to do that. I myself, I'm locked in my usual setup here. It is fairly sunny today outside, so that is good. I hope you guys have a very good start to your Saturday, or end to your Saturday as well. Solidian Knights GM says, Alden, welcome to the show. Carlos GM, thanks for being with us. GM Solidians from Le Cecilion, good to have you here. Chills is there. GM, my friend. Cyber, thank you so much for pulling off every single time. Jacqueline Ann is with us. GM, and solid Saturday to you too, my friend. Cyber Investor says, GM, welcome to the show. I am not alone, even if it looks like this. I am joined by my co-host, by my beautiful, handsome co-host and co-founder Pierre. How are we doing today? How are you feeling? Are you still awake? Are you still ready to rumble for Solid Talk number 79?
I'm amazing. Do you see I got a haircut?
Beautiful. That's why I said handsome, because you look, just beautiful. The hair, everything on point. Yeah, I'm growing my beard right now. I need to look as bad as possible on Wednesday, because I have a shoot coming up for a content piece where I need to look like a homeless guy. So right now I'm still looking okay, but I'm already getting the bad fate. So I already look like I didn't shave for a few days.
I think you look too good for a homeless right now. You need to give it more time then, if you really want to look homeless.
Yeah, I have time till Wednesday. Until then, I need to be fat, and I also need to be ugly in the face. So I hope I can pull that off until Wednesday. But I probably have to create a fat suit for me. If you have ideas how to do it, let me know. I'm just gonna. Right now, my plan is to just stuff pillows and clothes below my hoodie. So that's the plan. But that actually brings me to the first little topic. Still personal topic right now, but it's not going to be personal by the end of the month. I wanted to include the Solidians on one of my special projects that I'm working on. And I think we can, because I'm already talking with friends about it, a lot of people from the ecosystem already know what I'm doing. And I think the Solidians deserve to know this as well before it finds its way to the timeline to become official. What I'm going to talk about is going to be official by the end of the month, around the 22nd, I think, of this month, maybe a little bit earlier. We're going to start to announce it publicly. And yeah, I think it is something that I've been working on since weeks now, and spent a lot of my time on that topic. Benny is also working on that topic a lot. Pierre, as usual, is my advisor for everything I do in life. So he's also helping us on this special project. And it's a big thing. Honestly, it's a fairly big thing. So do you think it's a good idea to mention it already right now, or should I just let the people hang right now and just give them this intro and then pull back again and not talk about it? What are we doing?
Are you allowed to talk about it already?
I'm the boss. Okay, I can make that call myself. I'm not the only boss, unfortunately, but I think I'm.
Sorry.
I think I can.
The boss is here. This boss of Solana.
I think I can talk about it. But
I think you shouldn't tell them. maybe
Oh,
next week.
why not?
So they have a reason to come back.
You heard it, guys. I have to follow the advice of my right hand here.
I think it stinks.
What stinks?
My
Did you shit your
yeah,
pants?
this is the good one. I think I need to throw this out because it smells weird.
What did you do to it?
I smelled it too much. This one is good. This is like a fresh one, but unfortunately I don't have any more. I need to get them from Thailand somehow.
This is Pierre's secret weapon. This is how he survives his day. Like other people, they are putting sin under their teeth to get nicotine into their body. Pierre's just sniffing Thai.
Yeah, it works.
menthol, and it does the same job for him.
I mean, it's now
Okay, so
part
guys-
of me, right? It's like your shisha. I think
Yeah, it's,
there's probably nobody out there that is here every week that can remember a single solid talk where I was not sniffing this, right? I think that's
that sounds very wrong, but sure. without video right now, if you just listen to the audio, you're like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? Anyway, okay. I mean, sure. Then I'll tease it a little bit. I'll tease the topic that I was about to reveal, and then I'll do the full reveal in the coming week, and then the full public announcement in the week after-ish, I think. So that's the timeline. So you guys will be 1 week in advance still. But the topic is related mainly to our media business, which is Sol Brothers. As you guys know, I'm hosting a podcast on Solana since a while, and
really
this is all under one umbrella, really. Like everything I do with Sol Brothers also has strategic implications for Solana ID, so it is tightly related to each other. But we are moving away from the regular format that you guys know when it comes to Sol Brothers. It used to be a weekly show of the latest and greatest, live stream like this, basically, where I was joined by the other handsome co-host of mine, which is Ino, the Asian-looking dude. And we've been, giving updates on Solana fairly regularly now since a year. But the format is just not, it's not great. It's good, but not great. I don't like to do good things. I like to do great things. So we're pivoting away from that to do something much more meaningful and much more impactful for the Solana ecosystem. So that is one reveal that I can make. Okay, so the old show already disappeared since a few weeks, if you guys noticed. And the new show is going to be a very different format. And the only other revelation that I can drop here without being too precise and staying a little bit ambiguous consciously, so you guys don't know fully what's happening. Next week you'll find out. But the last piece of advice, or not advice, the last piece of hot tip I'm going to drop here is that this is happening not only by Sol Brothers, it is also being supported and initiated by a very big corporation, I would say, that is our strategic partner for this. And we have like a very, very interesting and good partnership for this new format that will definitely find its way to the timeline, and even hopefully further than the timeline into news and announcements and other social media accounts and so on, or channels. So yeah, new show, new format, much bigger, better production, and in collaboration with a big partner. So that's why I will leave it for today. And I will reveal the true special project, one of the special projects I'm working on next week in Solid Talk number 80. So that's what we're going to do next week. So if you want to find out what's going to happen, like it is huge. Let me tell you, it is huge. And I'm literally spending one full-time job right now on that topic, and the other full-time job I'm spending on Solana ID. Because as you know, if you are a founder, you don't have a life. And I realized that I'm always working. I don't know. I think it just feels normal. The same for you, Pierre. Like we don't really, the only other thing we do is like gymming whenever we can and spending time with the girlfriend.
I would say it's addiction.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it's not even, it's just normal. It's just life, it's just like, it's just what we do in life. It's just how I fill my time. I fill my time with things that are related to business, right? It is what it is.
Yeah.
Why do I do that? Because I have goals in life, and I think it's exciting and interesting, and it's fun to do. The creation process of it, that's the fun part, honestly. Because people always say, "Oh, you got to love your work, right? You got to do things that you enjoy. Otherwise, you're wasting your life." Sure, but life's not about fun, right? Life's actually about suffering. Like a lot of life is suffering. So it is fine. And it's fine. Like you just have to be cool with it. And you need to enjoy the process of the suffering, which is probably the most difficult thing you can do in life. And then you also need to enjoy and appreciate the outcome, the finale, the output of that creation process. And that is the light of the end of the tunnel. That is when people talk about motivation and inspiration. I need to get inspired. I need to get motivated. No, it should be a default state. You don't need to get motivated. Motivation should be built into your system. It's part of your Claude MD file. It never goes away. And you don't have to pull it from somewhere, right? It's just part of you. So I think this describes really good how I steer, or how we steer our lives really. And the creation process is sometimes tough, right? It can be hard as well. It can be, maybe you're lacking sleep, maybe you're stressed, maybe you feel like sometimes, a lot of times, things are actually not working out. But the perfect analogy here again is working on your physique, working on your body, working out in the gym, because that's the same principle that counts here. The actual gym session is something that looks to others like you're suffering. It looks to others like it's work, but it's not work for you, because for you, you make work look like play, what feels like work to others, right? So, and that is the essence here. Actually, that is the key. You have to make what looks like work to others feel like play to you, and that's me in the gym, right? It is exhausting. It is, it is painful. It is, when I trained legs today in the morning, and when I am there in my fucking hack squat, right? It burns, it hurts, right? But I still complete the repetitions that I wanted to do, and even go further than that to achieve ultimate failure, right? And failure in that sense is actually good. So you should opt for failure, because the more you push the boundaries towards failure, the higher the chance that you're actually achieving something great in the process of doing so. Because between all these failures, there will be success. I don't know why I'm doing a motivational podcast right now, but I'm just being me. And
Because you
yep,
can,
anyway,
because you're the boss. You're the boss of Solana. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
the CEO of Solana is actually Mert. Another news article picked that up the other day. You actually showed me that, right? Like,
Yeah.
CEO of Solana supports some other chain or something. I think he made the case for another blockchain. Anyway, lots of rambling. But you get the point, okay? And right now, I am in this creation process of something that's really difficult. Spend a lot of time on it. But I think the outcome is going to be grand, and it's going to be worthwhile working on it. And the same goes for Solana. The things we're doing here as well. But let's go back on track, and let's start with what we used to call at Sol Brothers the comfy part of the show, which is the one thing that we always do, and that's taking a glance at the charts. So I
Is
think
this comfortable for you?
probably,
Good to know.
it just feels, it's like, it's kind of, we know the deal, we know the format. Yeah, it's comfy, like I don't have to learn any new skills to pull that segment off here. I just have to yap while looking at charts, so I can do that. Let me change the display here a little bit of that setup. Just bear with me, ladies and gents, while I pull up my screen here and I position Pierre right next to me. And now we are going to head over to the charts, and we're going to stay here at the 1 hour chart of Solana. And we're going to try to make sense of this recent pullback here to the downside and this sideways distribution phase that we're in right now. Actually, it's not distribution anymore, it's accumulation. According to the Wyckoff method, I think, you have market phases where there's accumulation, and you have market phases where there's depression, it just goes down, and you have market phases where there's accumulation. And the accumulation phase is usually in a deep fear environment where big institutions and smart money are buying the asset without pumping it too high, so they can get good entry points at low prices. While they do that, a lot of people that are not really efficient at trading are getting kind of ripped off. They're getting shaken out because they think it's going to go up, but then it's going to go down again, and they get liquidated. And they think it's going to go up again, and it gets down again, and then they get liquidated. And then it goes up again, and they think, okay, now I'm just going to short it. And then it goes down, but then it doesn't go down as much, and then they get liquidated. And then it goes up again. So it's a typical phase right now where it is difficult to trade, depending on your strategy. If you're just range trading, you could probably actually trade this in a range really easily. Looking back, it's always easy because right now, especially if I put these markers on my chart here, you see that in that red box here, there's a lot of resistance. So every time we're approaching the lower end of the red box, there's always a support that triggers, and we're bouncing back up to the other side. So you know this is a long setup and up, and then there's another long setup and up, and then there's another long setup. And we've been trading between the blue zone up here and the far end of the red zone to the downside. Especially if you look at the 4-hour charts, you can actually see that only a few candles managed to close below the red line. So we're staying fairly equally inside there. And every time we're trying to break out, we get rejected in that blue zone here. Right? But one thing that we can notice while looking at this chart here, even right now, is that the trend seems to be bullish because we are doing now at least higher highs, depending on how we continue here. And we're also higher highs and higher lows. And we're also, for the first time now, broke out of the blue zone, even in a 4-hour candle. I think even in a daily candle, we broke, not quite. But in the 4-hour candles, we broke out of this blue zone. Without overshooting the RSI. So that's also pretty good. It's not overbought yet, this zone. There was some volume here when we did that breakout, so that is good. All this happened after the war news pushed us down, and then after this, we kind of recovered a little bit again. This was a promising move, but then we got rejected again. So the bulls, they have to turn up right now. Otherwise, you know, there's still a chance that is greater than 30%, I would say, that we'd see another low. But the higher chance, if you just look at probabilities right now, is for a trend reversal and upside continuation, with this being the low. Because this is actually a classical liquidation low here with a big wick to just take out all the people that were already bullish here and long and started to long, right? No one, like, people tried to probably catch the falling knife here. You should never do that, because this wick here definitely took out some liquidity and took out some people. But then since then, we've been just going sideways, right? So again, accumulation phase, and after accumulation, at some point, smart money is going to pull the trigger and push the price even further up because they want to get profitable with their big trades. We're going to talk a little bit about some general news as well when it comes to Solana, more on a fundamentals view, and I will get back to that accumulation topic back then again. But for now, to bring this segment to an end and stop me from yapping any further, I think we are currently in a C wave to the upside, according to Elliott wave theory, and in a 5th wave to the upside. That's the primary scenario right now. But we have to, let's see the fib levels here from the 2nd wave low to the 3rd wave high. And let's see. So we're right now literally at the 0.618. We're approaching the most meaningful fib level for an upside continuation. So this would be the last resort, I would say. After we cross through the $38.2 dollar level on the Solana chart, the probabilities shift again to the downside, because the further we pull back in this 4th wave, the higher the chances that we're not pushing for a 5th wave, and we have to reorganize the count right now. But right now the count checks out. Okay, we had a wave 1 to the upside, a wave 2 pullback, and then this 3rd wave is a diagonal. So it played out in an A, B, C movement. And now the 4th wave could do the same thing as well. It could also end up being an A, B, C, right? So there might be a push to the upside now. Even if we get rejected in the blue zone again, we could still make it up to the 5th wave. So that's totally fine. But we are definitely in a range where we could turn around slowly. Maybe not over the weekend. Maybe that's not the breakout, but maybe on the Monday, US Open again. So that's what we're looking at for Solana right now. So I think the next target really for this upside continuation is around $108, the green line here. So $108 would actually be my next target for a swing trade here to the upside. No financial advice. At no given moment am I trying to tell you guys what to do, because I don't know. Last bit here, the total crypto market cap, excluding BTC and ETH, so basically the altcoin market cap, including Solana, is also ranging since a while. We did not manage to break out here. A clear bullish sign that we are going back up for Solana as well would be a break through this red line here, or even just a break below or above 730 billion here, right? So right here. Like this would be an indicator as well if we manage to break out here, because right now we are kind of caught in this wedge pattern in the total crypto market cap. So we would have to see some sort of breakout here to the upside, hopefully, to further continue the attempt of breaking out to the upside globally, at least at a crypto total market cap point of view. That has been your Solami chart update. A little bit of TA here to get started. Perfect time to DLMM, Sol, USDC, probably, right? Trading volumes are definitely there. And also buying slowly in. You can use the DLMM strategy to DCA into Solana as well. So it is probably a good time, but again, no financial advice. It's definitely a bit of boring market, right, Pierre? Like Solana is just not really. Every week here, you listen to me yapping about the price, but nothing really changed since weeks, right? We're just going sideways. It is what it is.
I would assume that after almost 80 weeks of solid talks, we could have a bit more exciting news about Solana.
That's how markets move, right? Sometimes they're excruciating boring.
Yeah, since 80 weeks.
Yeah. Nah, I mean
that's not true. We had, I remember we had this one live stream beginning of last year in Bali, where you literally arrived at the place where we were live streaming, and then we were together, and Solana was like 300. Was it 300?
Yeah, 250. Between 250 and 300. Yeah, I mean it reached 300 at the peak. Yeah,
and then nothing.
Nothing since then. Yeah. That's but it can't. Yeah. The worst part about it is that a lot of other assets performed well. This is actually the big problem here, because that puts us in a difficult bucket, because a lot of investors are like, they're seeking opportunities elsewhere. For example, in AI. I talked to someone who's big on Solana as well since a long time, and very well connected with family offices and investors and institutions. And he also said, look, he just been to San Francisco, and he's been to the Silicon Valley bubble, where all the startups are, and no one really talks about crypto there. Everyone's talking about AI, especially there, because that's where the opportunity lives right now. But it's always the same, like people flock into the next big opportunity and disregard the thing that is quiet. But then at some point it turns, it turns like, and I can prove the point. Actually, that is a great segue into one news article that I wanted to pull up as well. Article. I think it's this one. Can you click my screen again on StreamYard? Actually, that's another piece of news what I just pull up, I think. Let me see what I'm pulling up here. This is it's a piece of Solana news. Okay, so we're moving to fundamentals and Solana updates and Solana news here. And one thing I wanted to highlight here is actually that people are underappreciating the Solana mobile kind of strategy right now. Solana Mobile is known for obviously the Seeker phone right now. They sold more than 200,000 hardware devices, which is already really good for a new phone. For literally, it's a new phone, not done by Samsung, not produced by Apple. It is a new phone produced by a completely new entrant to the market, which is extremely difficult to do in the phone sector. And they managed to sell 200,000 devices. So that is actually pretty good. But that is not the bullish thing. The bullish thing is that they're introducing the Solana mobile stack for everyone, for every Android device. So that's the piece of news. It is a turnkey integration that connects Android devices to the 1.5 trillion annual economy that is growing rapidly on Solana. That is intended to give these phone producers of Android phones hardware level differentiation in a commoditized market and a path to recurring revenue beyond the initial device sale through Solana app integrations. So it basically lives next to the Google what's it called, App Store, right? The Play Store, and it would bring Solana apps, Solana D apps, onto phones that are not Seekers and not Sagas, right? Already on the Saga and Seeker, we saw really solid stats, right? Over $5 billion in on-chain transaction volume just on these phones. It's pretty good. But now imagine that all these 580 million people globally that hold digital assets can now do their crypto, daily use cases on all kinds of phones, not just on Saga and Zika phones. So that brings Solana to a completely new untapped market, in my opinion. Obviously, I wish this would work with Apple as well because I'm an iPhone user. But obviously, Apple is going to be much more difficult to kind of integrate this turnkey solution into. But for Android, I think it works really well. So fairly bullish on some of these, let's say, market unrelated Solana fundamental news. And then another piece that I don't have an article for, but I just wanted to mention this here. Solana also saw a really, really solid amount of capital inflows from Wall Street investors, so institutions mainly, into the Solana ETFs. Why does that matter? This matches my assumption of being in an accumulation phase where price is not doing a lot and still smart money is buying kind of under the hood, in the shadows. Smart money is buying into the asset. So, and you can see that because the ETF flows on Solana are super stable. Like while we've been going down in price over 50% in the last 3-4 months, ETF inflows have been steadily growing, right? So they are accumulating. Institutions are accumulating SOL. So while the price stays depressed, the inflows are actually stable or even increasing over time. This is a very solid fundamental indicator of a healthy asset and of future implications, right? Because at some point, all these people that accumulate right now, they want to be in profit again. They will try to push the price up further. But right now, they're just silently accumulating. And I think the institutions that are manipulating the charts, they don't want the price to go up right now because they want more time to accumulate. This is a fact. So I think keeping that in mind, don't get too depressed by a boring market. It is normal and it is actually healthy as well. It gives capital rotation time to occur, which means old investors, they went out at high prices, but now new investors are coming in again at lower prices. Smart money is buying Solana. That is definitely happening. Another piece of advice from me for everyone who's interested in Solana is pay attention to Solana payments. Ladies and gents, we have a new account on Solana. It's called Solana Payments. That's a Twitter account, and they also have a pretty dope domain. Did you ever check that page out, by the way, Pierre?
Not sure. I don't think so.
Payments.org was launched beginning of this month, end of February. And a new page. You can literally see real-time transactions here in the background. These animations here are not just visual effects. They are actually all payments right now that are occurring in real time on Solana. So I can see here, $50, 30 cents, $0, $400, 50 cents. Those are actual transactions that you can check out on chain, and they just happened right now. Right? So this is pretty cool. Just a little gimmick on the page here. But obviously this payments.org, it is the window for people to understand how powerful Solana already is when it comes to payments. Solana is the world's most used crypto network and the fastest growing in payments. It's live since 2020. It is literally battle tested because we've been through battles here in Solana. We've been down. We've been not only price-wise down, also hardware-wise down. Like we had outages and all that shit. But now we are integrated with companies like Western Union for payments. We are trusted by other payment giants. We have partnerships with crypto card companies like Visa and MasterCard. We have institutions, we have governments accumulating, and we have a shitload of startups building payment solutions on top of Solana. So if you are a company or an institution that is looking for payment solutions that are faster than traditional payment solutions and extremely cheaper than in traditional payment networks, then Solana is already in production, ready for you to be used. And that's what this page wants to tell people. Make a payment on Solana right now because it is already working really well. And compared to other chains as well, the daily transaction count is definitely outperforming whatever we're seeing on other chains here. This is a great chart. We can see the Solana transaction count, daily transactions in millions in the line that hovers very predominantly on top here. And then we have the other blockchains like BNB chain down here. We have Base, Tron, Polygon, Ethereum. So all the other blockchains that are trying to catch up. But yeah, I think it is tough for them. It is tough because Solana is definitely outperforming them on payments. So if you think payments are interesting, then follow Solana payments account. A little soft chill here without any affiliations to them. I just want to preach the gospel. And this week they posted payments in March. So the last week, basically reflecting what happened on the payment sector. And we have SoFi, which is a nationally chartered bank in the US. They have enabled native Solana network deposits. So you can literally click a button, deposit Solana to your bank account, to your actual bank account. That is not a crypto bank. It's just a digital bank. It's a fintech. You have Africa's leading fintech with 1 million customers who now supports USDT and USDC deposits via Solana. So that's also really cool. And then huge news that actually also impacted the markets a bit. KrakenFX, shout out to Kraken, their subsidiary Kraken Financial, which is a US entity, was granted a Federal Reserve master account, which has not been done before, making it the first digital asset bank with direct access to the US payments system, also called Fedwire. So they're literally plugging in directly to global payment networks right now with Kraken. Obviously, Kraken is not Solana only, but it is bullish for Solana as well. We got a few other pieces here of news when it comes to payments, but since this is not a payments live stream, I urge you to check this out yourself. At least make sure to follow the Solana payments account. What do you think about the website? It's pretty cool, right? With the live transactions and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well done.
I think like all branding stuff when it comes to Solana is always pretty nice, pretty dope.
They know what they're doing. In the last 5 months, I use Pyra. Shout out to Pyra, my friend Diego, and Soulflare to buy goods. Is this shown at payments? I'm pretty sure. I don't know exactly how the website works. Pyra is a fintech. It's a neobank on crypto rails from friends from Super Team Ireland. They built this. And you can use it for, just as your bank replacement with integrated yield opportunities and cards and so on. They're doing cool stuff. I haven't used them myself yet because my setup right now is just super straightforward. It's like it has been cast for a long time. And now, finally, yesterday, I got my Soulflare card. The
physical one or just the digital one?
The digital one that I couldn't get because my account was buggy. Since
you can still not use it because they don't support Apple Pay yet.
I pay online with it. I already made one online payment with the Soulflare card now.
Okay.
So, I mean, sure, you can do this with other cards as well, but at least now I don't have to, for online payments, I don't have to send the money that's on chain to an off-chain account, i.e. Cast. I can just, swap it over to my Soulflare and then directly pay with it. So that's really cool. And also the Apple Pay for Soulflare card is scheduled for end of this month. That's what insiders told me. But again, don't take this as granted because this is not official information. That's just me talking to the Soulflare team and knowing things that I probably shouldn't know and shouldn't tell anyone else. But now you know. So, so Soulflare card, I think, is gonna, it's gonna pick up soon. We're gonna have a debit card soon that is physical. We're gonna have Apple Pay integrated soon as well. So I think we're going in the right direction there. And Soulflare card also keeps updating their stack. They have travel rewards now. They have booking discounts for people that book through Soulflare with the card at certain vendors. And then also Soulflare obviously announced the private payments feature. You saw that, by the way, Pierre? Private payments via Soulflare? Huge news.
No.
Big shout out to Soulflare. The new PAL system, it's called. Payment, I don't know what it stands for. Sorry, guys. I forgot that. If you guys know what PAL stands for, please drop it in the comments. But it is a privacy aggregator. So now when you send a transaction with your Soulflare wallet, Pierre, there's a little field where you can say if you want to send public or private. If you do public send, it is as always, right? Public on the blockchain. If you select private send, it has a little bit of fees and it takes a bit longer because it goes right now only through Houdini swap. So they're using Houdini swap under the hood, but that means they're masking your payment. So it is a private payment and no one can actually trace it back to your wallet once you send it to someone. So if you send me wallet in a private mode, if you send me money right now,
they just killed Umbra.
No. Again, Solflare is not building this themselves. They're becoming the distribution layer for privacy payments. So Umbra should ASAP integrate themselves to Solflare next to Houdini, because Houdini is not their exclusive partner. The way that Solflare is building this tool is in an aggregator fashion. So they want to aggregate the best privacy payment networks we have on Solana, and then route your transaction through the best offer, similar how Jupiter routes your swaps. So if you select private in the next couple of months, when they have more than Houdini swap integrated, then your private transaction will go through the best offer, i.e. fastest execution and lowest price at that specific moment. So if Umbra is going to be cheaper and faster than Houdini, they will be picked in that selection once they're integrated. I have no idea about integration plans that go beyond Houdini, but yeah, big shout out to Solflare for pushing private payments. That's actually really nifty feature that is right now live already and can be used. So that's really cool.
Nice.
On other news, when it comes to Solami updates, let's give another shout out to one of our friends who I love to pull up here on Solid Talk, which is Sensei's Weekly Digests, because this is a great overview of what happened last week on Solana. This post is from the 6th of March, so yesterday. Jupiter Exchange also has a card now, so directly competing with the Solflare card. Western Union partners with Crossmint to help bring their USD PT stablecoin on Solana to millions of users. So again, Western Union already announced their Solana integration last year, and now we're seeing this come to fruition. Valeo protocol, never heard of them. You can now monetize any API with Solana tokens. Valeo wraps it in a payment gate that accepts any SPL token. Interesting. So you can basically sell your APIs and you get paid in Solana tokens and any SPL token. So you could get paid in Solid as well. Interesting. We could probably plug in the Solana ID API and then make people pay in Solid through that system. Nest Credit powering real-world yields inside Perena. Okay, Perena partners with Nest Credit, also a company I haven't heard of yet. RWA yield, I suppose, institutional grade yield from RWAs. Yep. Backpack launched access to tokenized IPO share allocations. Also really cool. I saw that announcement. Together with Superstate, they are helping Backpack users that are having a centralized exchange account with Backpack to tap into brand new exchange listings on the IPO market. So not crypto. Tokenized IPO shares are actual stocks that are tokenized before they get listed on global exchanges. Interesting. Haven't looked into it further, but definitely also a nifty feature here from Backpack to differentiate themselves further from competition. Phantom, yup. Solflare, yup. We just talked about it. Perena already mentioned. MetaDAO project launched Futario, futard.io, which is their new permissionless token launchpad. If you want to launch a token with MetaDAO, earlier you had to go through the team, apply, and then get accepted, and then launch a MetaDAO. Now you can also alternatively launch directly without their permission on futard.io. And we had one meme coin already launched there. They got $10 million in commitments, and then ended up raising probably a few mil from that. Interesting. Bearish on that specific use case because it was just a meme coin and people just threw money at it, sure. But I want to see this with actual projects. That would be great. What else? Ramstar announced their winners of the DAO Olympics. Also cool. So what is this? Solman DAO. Okay, taking the trophy. Shout out to Solman DAO. I have no idea what he did, so can't comment on that. And we have a new UI on Meteora as well. So those are a few updates here sourced by Solana Sensei. Always a busy week over there. So definitely good stuff happening here on Solami. Have you followed the recent Ranger Finance happenings from the MetaDAO launch? Yeah.
Only what you told me.
So the proposal was accepted. So there was a proposal. There was a proposal that got raised like a week ago-ish, and then has been in voting process for a few days, and now it's concluded and it passed. And the proposal was about the liquidation of the Ranger Finance treasury. So one example of it is both. It is an example of how MetaDAO actually creates unruggable launches, because in this case here, the community was very dissatisfied with the information they got from the Ranger Finance team related to revenues mainly prior to the launch. The community said that they did a lot of misinformation. They said things that are actually not true. And that's why the proposal was raised mainly. But obviously the main motivation behind the proposal is to give investors back their money from a token that didn't perform well. This is also an example of how dangerous MetaDAO is for founders, honestly, because if you are a credible team and if you actually did not spread misinformation, the community could still raise a proposal accusing you of misinformation to get their hidden agenda pushed through, which is we just want our money back. We don't believe in it anymore. And then your whole race that you just pushed through and did marketing for and spent money and time on gets liquidated from a market proposal with you having no ownership over it and no real power to change it. So in a Ranger case, I definitely feel sorry for the team. I can't comment on the misinformation because I didn't do a deep dive, so I don't want to accuse them of that. If they did misinformation, then sure, then it's justified, the situation that we're in. But I see the whole thing very critical as a case study, because if I would raise my money on MetaDAO, I would not like to be in that situation where you just concluded your raise, you're happy to have 12, 24 months runway, and then the market just liquidates your whole thing again because they want to chase another launch. So yeah, it's a bit tricky. Similar thing actually happened to Fairscale XYZ, which is a direct competition to Solana ID because they're doing reputation scores on Solana, selling them via APIs. They raised on Star.Fun, and I think they ran into a similar problem where they also got drugged by everything. Their token performed really, really badly and so on. Because the same thing happened, the team was also accused to talk about revenue projections based on partnerships that actually didn't hold up. So the community did some investigation on these partnerships and asked these stated customers about if they actually pay something to Fairscale, and they said no, not really. And then everyone was like, interesting. And then they also dumped their tokens and demanded the liquidation and so on. So Fairscale also, I feel for you guys. I mean, you're competition to us, so fuck you. But also, sorry to hear that something like this happens, because I do feel for founders. You got to be careful when you do these things. You got to be honest when you do these things, and you got to, like, if you do a permissionless launch, not permissionless, if you do a launch as an ownership token on one of these platforms with full control over the treasury from the market, from the community, then for fuck's sake, be honest about what you're saying, because it will backfire. It will backfire. That's what we learned right now. So either you raise from VCs, then you can do whatever the fuck you want, just convince them, or you do these type of ownership coin launches, but then you need to be brutally honest with everything you do, which you should probably be anyways. So yeah, very interesting time when it comes to ownership coin meta right now and following all these happenings. Does have implications as well for our decisions moving forward with Solid. But also I have a different kind of setup in mind, as you already know. We talked about it last week or the week before, where we wouldn't give full control over the full company to token holders, but only tokenize a part of the company. So we have equity shares and ownership over the rest of the company, but we also have token holders that own a part of the company. And then if the company gets sold, as a token holder, you do have a legal right and a legal claim to the exit scenario, so that a Tensor scenario doesn't happen, where the company gets sold and token holders just get wrecked completely. So, yep, that's what's happening with MetaDAO and our friends over there. Now, where are we on the agenda? Ladies and gents, if you have questions, comments, anything to say, please do drop these comments and questions in the comment section as well. Moving on to Solana ID updates. How about that? Shall we?
My Wi-Fi is a bit slow right now. I'm trying to load Ocean.
Oh, okay. Well, I got you. Don't worry. At least your video is stable and I hear you loud and clear. But when it comes to some updates here, obviously you saw it on the timeline, ladies and gents. There's a new perk in the Solana ID hub. So checking this out here right now in my hub, we do have a new perk in the My Solid Perks section, which is Netrunner. Netrunner is your friendly crypto tax advisor, the most comprehensive tax tool for Solana token, NFT, and DeFi traders. Huge shout out to our friends from Netrunner, to Seb, who is running the show over there, and also, yeah, for the partnership. I think it's a really good product. And if you need help with, tax issues, Netrunner really helps you to automate your tax, your tax, by tracking and labeling your transactions and wallets, in a way that you don't have to do that work yourself. And if you want to use the tool fully, you have to get a subscription. And with Solana ID, every single Solana ID holder gets a discount on the subscription. 30%, pretty juicy discount. You're saving 1/3 of the price almost, by being in either tier of Solana ID. So if you want access to that perk, if you think this is interesting, then make sure that you follow these friends. So head over to Netrunner Tech's Twitter account and just show some love by following them. But also make sure to just click the button and get forwarded to their page and find the custom discount code on your perk section here in that card, so you can claim the discount yourself. So this is a little perk shout out, perk update here from our friends from Netrunner, which we launched this week. I think next week, Pierre, we should actually try to get Seb on the show. We should invite Seb over to Solid Talk just to talk a little bit about his journey building Netrunner, to get some product insights and some alpha, and also to connect with our community. Just something to mental tab open.
For sure.
Noise. We are pivoting to AI.
Wait. Before you move on, Simon, you just dropped this, like, here's a new perk, blah, blah, blah. But what's most exciting about this actually is, how long did it take to launch this perk?
Wow, that is an interesting, detailed question, my friend. To get the full context on my answer that I'm about to give to this, in the past, when we had a new perk drop into the Solana ID hub, there's, as you can imagine, right, put yourself in our shoes, there's a whole process behind this, right, where we have to create the content for the perk page, we have to assemble the assets for the perk page, we have to hand it over to our development team. Our development team has to build it, hard code it, and then launch it into production. So it's actually in the hub. Now, this process just got extremely slimmer by using our fully autonomous agentic dev team instead of humans to push this perk in the hub. So now we can technically launch perks if we have perks, right? There's a BD effort here that still needs to be done. But if we have perks, it takes minutes, not hours or days. It takes literally minutes to get that perk into the hub, because I can tell my agents to launch it. I give them the assets. I give them the copy of the page, and they will go off and tinker. In that time, I can drink a tea or go take a piss. When I come back to my computer, the perk is going to be in the hub after a few minutes. So definitely worth talking about, because I already said right now we're pivoting to AI. We're going to talk about this section now as well a little bit, what this means. But definitely one of the pivot to AI that we're doing includes our fully autonomous agentic dev team that can now do changes to the product much quicker than we did before. We're going to talk about this further after the next topic. But the second piece of we are pivoting to AI includes actually a new product iteration, right, that we've been working on since a long time now. Our strategy for 2026 when we started this year was, how do we crack distribution? How do we get more people to see our campaigns? When we launch a campaign, when we have a new perk, how do we get more fucking attention to it so we can actually deliver on our promise to be the most capital efficient customer acquisition tool that you have access to on Solana? Distribution. And we are living in an age now where distribution can be hacked much more cost efficiently than ever before. What does that mean? Especially Pierre has been spending a lot of time on creating a workflow that allows us to push content, not on Twitter, but to begin with on TikTok, right? To several creator accounts that are fully AI-generated creators that are then pushing content that aims to deliver traffic to our landing pages or Solana ID Hub. Why is this a game changer? In the past, when you did this, you had to either be that creator yourself, come up with a content idea, record the content, push it out there, then you have one account. Maybe you can do it with 2 accounts. Maybe you can do it with 3 accounts. It's already a full-time job. Or you work with creator agencies. So basically, you pay people to talk about your product and do UGC, user-created content, user-generated content. Now, these guys usually charge, money for every single post or per month. So I think on average, you're ending up paying at least a couple $100 for a full reel that goes 30 seconds to a minute with a product placement for one of these accounts. Now, if you want to have large distribution, you need more than one account. On TikTok, you need maybe 10, 20, 50 of these people. Now, if you have 50 people talking about your products on campaigns, pushing videos every 3 days on their channels, you can, this adds up to thousands and thousands of dollars every month just on UGC, paying these creators. If that's the top of the funnel traffic campaign, that's cool, but it's very manual. It is very cost inefficient. Today, we are able to build workflows that are fully agentic content creation machines that take a campaign, like, for example, the Solflare card, right? And one of our customers, and it takes the campaign and then creates content on a daily basis, completely independent from you as a human. It creates content on a daily basis, on a daily frequency, pictures, videos with subtitles, whatever you want, slideshows, and it posts them as well autonomously on TikTok. Now imagine doing this with 100 accounts of AI creators that are posting daily on TikTok, pushing your agenda, preaching your gospel of your customers, right? This creates a huge layer of distribution with high chances that something picks up and actually drives traffic to your customers. And this setup, literally, if you build it right, it can cost around $100 per month if you do it really cost efficiently. Let's be more controversial or conservative and say $500 per month, right? For 100 posts per month across all kinds of accounts or multiple accounts. That's a lot of content with almost no work once it's set up for you as a human for a very cheap price, because with these accounts now, you can drive traffic to multiple of your customers. So what does that mean for Solana ID? If we have a customer that wants to sell a product, let's take Solflare Card as an example. These guys want distribution and they don't want to care about it. They want us to do that for them, right? So we can build them a landing page. How do we get traffic on it? If we assemble our creator army, additional to our existing display network and Twitter strategies and solid talks and so on, and now we push this content out on TikTok or Instagram, we can drive traffic to their campaign with almost no cost if you break it down across campaigns, which we can charge for, but doesn't cost us a lot of money, increases the profit margin extremely. And if you figure out a setup that actually works, you have a huge moat, because I can tell you, and Pierre can tell you even more, this is not trivial. It's not easy to build a full automated end-to-end content creation engine that actually works and produces content that slaps, So yeah, what is your reading of the current status of this UGC AI created content? Pierre, where are we in the market? Is it already feasible to do this? Are we still, are the models not quite there yet? How difficult is it to build it up? Before we actually look at some examples, what is your reading of the current status in this market? And how do you, as a creator or a marketer that has been doing campaigns years ago with no AI at all, how do you see this changing the market now in this world that we live
in? I think it's actually crazy, because at some point, first of all, you have to realize that yes, I have maybe I have an advantage, maybe not. I actually don't know if I still have an advantage or not, because anyone can be everything or anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can be a genius marketer tomorrow if you want, or you can be a senior full stack developer in 1 week if you want. It's just crazy. You can be really whatever you want, because you don't need to know anything anymore. You literally don't need to know anything anymore. you can just work everything with AI, right? If you know some people that are very good in some specific areas, and you can try to get some really good engineered prompts, then maybe you have an advantage because you know these people and others might not know them. Sorry, there's something in my.
Oh, go ahead. Then, if you want, yeah. But it's what Pierre says. It's actually very true. We are enabled by AI so much; it creeps into our daily workflow so much. It's actually it's insane. Yeah, it is like a cheat code for humans.
It is. It is. So it doesn't matter anymore because there's literally, especially when you work with Claude, there's literally a fucking skill or a plugin out there for anything. There's like a few websites. I have them saved. There's like hundreds and hundreds of skills from people that build these things. So there's like one agent that is the best of the best in running meta ads. There's another agent that's the best of the best in writing scripts, and so on. You literally don't need to do shit yourself anymore. You just need to know how to use these tools properly, right?
Which is not trivial. I think this is where you can distinguish, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Because building complex winning strategies with AI is still not easy.
It is. And it is. Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I think if you're not happy with the results, you suck, not the AI.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you have to be very self-reflective in this. If the output is not how you want it, it's your fault. And
most people now,
I count myself in because sometimes I also don't get the result that I want because of something that I didn't do right.
Yeah. A lot of that's a typical thing you hear normal humans right now say, oh, AI is not good not yet, it doesn't do the job yet that I want to do, because they spent 10 minutes on trying to create that video, right, that they saw on Instagram. And they saw this video on Instagram where some guy said, this is fully AI generated, and it's a polished video, looks super real and so on. And they're like, okay, I want to create that. They go to ChatGPT and they say, please create a video of myself talking about this topic with this script. They pass the script, they add an image of themselves, they click create, and then the video is like completely dog shit. The guy has like 3 arms, the lips are not synced at all, the text is kind of meshed up. In between, he speaks a different language. Like, it's just a mess, right? And they're like, oh, AI sucks, right? But wait a second. That video that you saw on Instagram that triggered you, that was actually created by AI. So someone made it. You didn't make it. So it's not the AI that's the problem. It's you that's the problem. So that is very true. And we can talk about this here and even show some examples. I wanted to,
but that's the approach, right? You should never tell the AI to do this, like, do this video, blah, blah. Just ask, I want to do this video. How can I do it? Like, what do I need? Which tools do I need? What's the state of the art? Like, how can we make this happen?
Yeah. So that's literally what I did last night when I sent you that report. So I sent Pierre a report that I created with Claude. I just sent Claude to research kind of the state of the art process. Anyone can do that for user generated content using AI end to end. How you can build it and plug it into an automation. And then Claude went for like 10 minutes and read like 500 web pages and gave me this detailed report. And now I know. Like, it took me 10 minutes literally, but I had to ask first, right? I had to ask first to give me a plan, give me an idea. And then I also need to go back and take the findings and evaluate them myself, right? And be like, okay, this actually works. Like, I think this checks out. And then I need to derive the exact plan from this. So now we talked a lot about, what we're trying to do here. We're trying to build this agentic content creation army. So we have a moat at Solana ID to create, a huge distribution for campaigns that we do for anyone on Solana. For people that don't know how to set this shit up themselves. And where are we today, Pierre? Like, where are we on that journey? And what have you already built out, maybe? Just in a nutshell, like to...
the current state is that we have a working system that can produce one type of content for multiple,
accounts.
For now, TikTok accounts, if we want that. Some caveat I have to add here, because I already learned new things over these 2-3 days. since the workflow is live. It is not yet perfect because I need to implement a system how basically the generation engine knows what was already generated, because that's not implemented right now, which means I saw that new content pieces are mostly the same. Like it's always like it going to the same direction because it doesn't know yet which topic was already done before, right? So, but it's easier to do this. You will just feed the last 4 or 5 posts in there telling, look, this is what we did before. Let's not do it again. Need to try an angle, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that it's not critical, but I saw it. That's why I stopped it for now, because it just generated like the same post basically over and over again.
So let's take a look at one of these pieces here. So this is Lena. Lena is not a real human, unfortunately. So she is one of our creator accounts, and she's talking here about her solution to a problem that she has, which is, paying abroad for shit without paying a shit out of taxes or fees. So she posted this slideshow here of herself, where she basically talks about this problem and her solution to it. So yeah, I started checking my bank fees abroad and saved 340 euros in 1 year. How the fuck did she do that? First of all, there's an ATM trap, right? So there's a lot of fees when you take out money from ATMs, cash from ATMs, especially if you try to use your local bank card. There's currency conversion happening. On top of the bank fees, you also pay shitload for FX usually. So the merchant's conversion rate is usually 4 to 6% worse than your bank's rate. So that is also an issue with a lot of people that I don't know. What Lena used to do is she topped up a prepaid travel card before every trip, converting at whatever rate they offered that day. I thought I was being smart. I was just paying fees in a different format. What I do now is I hold USDC in my own wallet. So she pivoted to stablecoins and she spent it directly from her wallet. No top up needed. She doesn't need to go to another app. No conversion spread. No one else holding my money. She still owns the money. The rate I spent at the rate I spent at is the rate I see. How does she do that? Well, at the end of the day, the card that fixed this for her, it runs on USDC straight from her own wallet. No custody, no lockup, no top-ups. So that is the software card, obviously, as you can see on the picture. And if you want to get that card, link in bio if you want to see it. So this is one example of how such a slideshow can look like. And now the beauty of this is this content was completely autonomously posted, right? So this happened in the background via an automation script that Pierre built, via a database that we set up on Notion, where we basically create everything from start to finish. The script for the pictures, the images of either Lena herself or basically her B-roll images from her daily activities here, where she's using the card. So all this is generated by AI, from content generation up to posting as well. We never logged into TikTok to post this. She basically posted it herself using an agentic setup workflow. So this is a classical example of a slideshow, which works quite well on Twitter already, on TikTok already. But the next unlock would be moving pictures. Go ahead, Pierre.
I want to add something, because you see the posts are not performing right now, unfortunately. Yeah. Because I searched it up and I did one mistake. I started doing it, but then I didn't, fully do it, because right now I just hate everything I have to do myself. If I can't find a way to let AI do it, I end up not doing it somehow.
Lazy piece of shit?
No, I would say I'm very productive because I am using so much AI. But I just don't want to spend like 20 minutes every day for multiple accounts to warm them up. But you have to do it. Like I read it everywhere. You have to do this warming up. If you have a new account and you start posting stuff
right away,
the chance is very high that TikTok will flag you as spam, or they will just post your posts, because there's literally the last 2 ones, they got 0 views, like 0. So there's something wrong, and I guess that's the problem because I didn't properly warm up the account.
Interesting learning.
I need to find a way how to automate this because I really don't want to do this myself every time I add a new account. That's one way. Or another idea would also be finding a good source where you can buy accounts for not too much money that are already like from a specific region, that have already like a few followers maybe. But then also it's hard to really know like where's the account coming from and what was done with the account before and who has still access to this account. So it's a bit, it has. Yeah.
Let's take a look at another example of content. I'm going to pull it up. Let me show you guys a video that is also fully AI generated from another of our content creators, from Maya. And she created a video of herself talking about the software card and showing it to her audience in that video. So let's see what AI can actually produce. And I'm going to tell you guys as well how much time it takes to create such a video and where are the difficulties here. Because it looks always much easier than it actually is under the surface. After that piece, we're gonna move over to the Solid Talk NFT. So definitely don't leave right now because we're gonna give you guys a chance to claim your unique artwork from today's Solid Talk. You can get that ready already backstage, Pierre. While I head over to show that video that I created. So let's see Maya and let's
crypto,
see.
I got something here.
There she is. Can I pull her up? Why is she not on the picture? Let me try it here. Do you know how I can put her? How do I get her on the stage?
Let me see.
I uploaded a video file.
Something he has to get for you. I am so.
Should I try it again?
Let me.
He's working in tech for a company.
That is weird. Let me try something.
I can also.
I don't even know what that means.
All right.
If your boyfriend.
Thanks, Ben. All right. So this is Maya. And yeah, let's see. Let's look at Maya. You guys in the comments, you let me know if you would see that video on social media. What would be your impression? What would you think? Drop your comments. There's no right or wrong. In the comment section.
If your boyfriend makes money in crypto, I got something he has to get for you. I am so bad at explaining my boyfriend's job. He's working in tech for a company that issues digital assets. I don't even know what that means. Anyway, I am so happy right now because he gave me this crypto card that works like a normal MasterCard. He puts a few €100 per month on it for me for random shopping. And I love it. He says he can top it up with a single crypto transfer from one of his wallets to the card wallet. Just Base. Again, I have no idea what that means. But if it buys me dresses, I am all for it.
So you can see that there's still, there's like a little bit of hiccups that is very obvious. So the video is completely non-edited, right? Like I didn't do any cuts to it. This is completely AI generated. So Hector is completely right. Maya is AI, 1000%. So, but I just wanted to show you how such a video can look like. So this is a 30-second-ish video that can find its way to the TikTok timeline, for example. And it talks about, like it presents Maya. She looks the same in the whole video. Like she doesn't change her appearance. This is one of the first huge difficulties for creating these AI videos. Most of these tools, all of these tools, are only able to generate 8 to 15 seconds of video in one single session. And then you have to create the next segment of the same video as a new video and then stitch them together. That also means that the AI is creating two independent pieces. When the AI does that, the chances are very high that it fucks up the appearance of the speaker or the scene of the speaker. So you will end up, seeing things that don't add up, like her apartment changes or her facial, like how she looks in her face changes a little bit. But in this clip that I just showed you, it actually maintained almost 100% character consistency throughout the whole video. The voice changed a little bit. The pacing of the voice changed in between as well, which is not ideal. the Soulflare card that she showed was fairly accurate. It looked like the actual Soulflare card. So the AI generated a really good demonstration or mock-up of the card. And her voice also sounds okay, right? But this piece has been created in one single shot. So that's something to keep in mind. Like this was one prompt, and the tool I used for this stitched together after like 5 to 10 minutes of work. It stitched together the whole thing into one clip, while maintaining character consistency and executing on the script almost perfectly, and creating that card from scratch to show it as well, just from a picture. So that is one thing that that is possible, but it is very tricky. If you want to create results that are not 1000% AI, right? So it looks a little bit more authentic, where there are no hiccups in between, and where there's still 100% character consistency and a good voice and everything, you actually have to do a more sophisticated setup these days. You cannot just rely on one single prompt in one single tool. You have to basically do the full workflow. How does that look like? You go from image generation, right, to this is how she looks like. Use that character, right? In every single prompt when you create the video, you have to create pictures for the scenes. So you have to create pictures first, right? Then you have to create the voice as well independently using tools like 11 Labs, because there you have much better voice selection than in most of these aggregators. So with 11 Labs, you can create really beautiful, voice that actually sounds good and not too artificial. Then you basically trigger a video generation tool like Veo from Google, for example, which is quite good these days. And then you tell Veo to do an image to video creation for each single segment, right? You need to make sure that it maintains character consistency. Every single segment needs to get the same input for the character, and reference pictures of her to create the character consistency. So then you have the video segments that you can piece together, and you have the audio file. Now you have to merge the audio with the video while also maintaining lip sync. So the lips need to look natural, right? So in the clip of Maya, it looked already quite natural because Veo has a fairly good lip sync built in. So it actually could work with Veo, but it's not perfect because I also tried probably the state-of-the-art product right now. It's called Sync SO. And this one matches the text, the audio, to the voiceless video and creates a very natural lip sync that actually looks really, really good. But then it's another extra step, right? So you have to merge the video that you got with the voice using a tool like SyncSO. And then you have the final video, and then you can parse this through to CapCut or somewhere to add captions, and then you can pass it through to your automation to post it on TikTok. So what I just explained, if you break it down, is a multi-step process with different tooling, right, and different steps to create this end piece. It's fairly complex, not going to lie. That is also the mode here. Like if we set this up properly, not a lot of people can do this these days, right? Now, if you optimize this for costs as well, so you only pay a few cents per video, then you have a winning strategy, a winning workflow at low costs, and then you can replicate that shit into a higher amount of output. So it can work, but it is not trivial to set up. Just to give you guys a little bit of backstory of how this shit works and what we are right now focusing our time on, because I think this can be a really huge moat for basically every crypto company, because these guys don't know how to do that. And if you can solve that problem for them, this is actually huge. They need to make AI models less pretty to be more real. Not a bad point. A lot of these videos are actually too polished for social media. You have to include in the prompt a lot of subtlety that tells the tool to not create a video that looks super polished 4K studio light, because that's kind of unrealistic. Depends on what kind of content the creator does, right? If it's a creator that does professional content, maybe she has a setup at home, right, where it looks like this. But most of these creators are like iPhone 12 front camera recordings, right? It needs to look much less perfect. I think Maya looks fine the way she was built. Like I don't think she's too pretty. But there's also a reason why there are only women right now, because most of the products that we're trying to sell are focused on dominantly men, right? And we need scroll stoppers on the timeline. So if you have a woman in a nice sport outfit that looks attractive, let's be real. It makes you stop and look the video for the sake of looking at the woman. And then you also listen to, like, there's a lot of subtlety when it comes to this for marketing psychology. But obviously there's a reason why you take Pretty Woman to do this. But it's not the only strategy. You can also go in a completely different direction and just make a, extremely, like, make her look very awkward. It's also a scroll stopper, right? So you can do that as well. You can definitely also use men, and we also have a male creator account that we set up already for slideshows. It's not wrong, right, to do that. But yeah, Maki, it is a fair point. Cyber says, I think for a friendly, more appealing face most times. It is probably true. Again, you can definitely do this with men as well. But if your target audience is men and you want them to buy something, it is not a bad idea to use Pretty Woman to lure them in. Let's be real. Like, just be real, guys. I would watch that video as well. Not because I'm a pervert, but, it's nice to look at Pretty Woman. I mean, look at social media these days. Like, it's just full of fucking women shaking their ass in the camera and shit. So, because it's the most stupid thing you can do for marketing. It's stupid simple. You're just triggering the most the most, how do you call it? Primal instinct of men when you do these kind of clips. So, yeah. Shut up, Maki. So yeah, like this is the agentic traffic agency part of Solana ID that we're, slightly pivoting to these days when it comes to marketing, to the marketing department of what Solana ID is. Simon the Perp. Nice. Yeah. Thanks, Hector. Cool. Anything else when it comes to the agent setup here? I think we're good. I think we can move on for now. And we keep you guys synced on that topic. You're going to see much more of this in future. But let's move on to the NFT pair. Let's do the Solid Talk number 79 collectible of today, the Solid Talk NFT, the legendary segment of Solid Talks where we give you guys the chance to get this unique artwork every single week into your collection. So if you're a true Solidian, you assemble all the artworks in your wallets. So let us show you how to do that today, and let us reveal what today's collectible looked like, because I can tell you guys this looks really, really cool. It's another unique piece that has been crafted from Sigmund, and yeah, it puts the Solidian hero in a very nice pose with a lot of interesting elements to the picture. I love it. It's one of the good ones.
There you go.
Solid Talk number 79. Solid Talk NFT. Wonderful. The Solidian hero is ready to attack and fight for the good to protect your reputation across the realm. Beautiful artwork. Now, how do we get this, Pierre?
That's a good question. Let me see if my automation actually worked. Because I also added a new step in there that should automatically create the Zeely quest.
Doesn't look like it. Looks bearish.
No, it's not. How to say? It's not. It shouldn't be live yet. That's the thing. That's
okay.
good.
Okay.
But I'm logged out of my Zeely account right now. I just need to log in again. Sorry. Give me a second. Sometimes it does that, and I don't know why.
Just top up my coal here.
Okay, we have. Yeah, bearish. There's no quest was created or whatever.
My friend, do you want to do more push-ups again?
Why? It's not me, it's the AI that failed.
Oh, well, no, that's...
Let me check actually if he added something to... Yeah, I have to ask about it. Why there's no ZD quest yet? But let me just do it. It doesn't take that long.
We want to claim it. It's claim time. Cyber says it's claim time, so we gotta make it work, bro.
Yeah. It's already live now. Chill.
Alrighty. Might have to demote Pierre and promote one of his agents.
Hey, at some point, my agents are only as good as I am.
Or as bad as you are, in this case.
Maybe. No, but at least the NFT was created without me. I did not need to add any layers. I did not need to add any logo. I did not need to add the date or the solid talk type. The image, the artwork was created by a human. He uploaded the image to a Google Drive folder, and then the magic happens. My agent gets the image. He adds the blue layers at the top and the bottom. He adds the logo. He adds the name. He adds the date, which always fits and matches. And then I think 1 hour latest after the solid talk ends, he will unpublish the ZD quest. He will fetch all the wallets that submitted. And an hour later after that, or maybe 5 minutes, I'm not sure right now, he will automatically send out the NFTs. We will see if that actually works. And then you have another agent in the background that gets a connection from my agent, and then he will automatically add the NFT to the karma system. So you start literally earning karma so fast like never before these days.
That is all amazing, but what is the secret code?
It's
game time.
There you go.
Head over to talk.solana.id and plug in AI, all caps, 2 letters, to claim your NFT. And also make sure to parse your wallet edit through where you want to receive the NFT after it gets distributed by our agents after the call. So talk.solana.id, the secret code is AI. If you want to claim this NFT, then do it now. Head over to talk.solana.id, put in the secret word AI, and copy paste your wallet ID, and then click on claim. Once you did that, done. As Johannes did it, me too. So this definitely worked, and we are good to go with the NFT. Now let's see if the distribution works, but that will be later today. So for now, all you have to do is talk.solana.id and click on claim. Nice. Beautiful artwork. I think it's, really nice. Good one. Done. Claimed. All right, guys. Good job on claiming. All right. Now, last but not least, we talked earlier about our new process of publishing perks to Solana ID Hub, which is very slim and very time efficient and fully automated these days, almost automated these days. I just have to give the instructions and the perk pops up. But what we can also do now very easily is larger updates to the actual product. So that used to be a bit difficult because, there's lots of things we have to do every day at Solana ID, and product development and
coming up with
and implementing. Sorry. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, I think there's actually a way how you can automate it. Since now you probably have a skill or something, or tools that are saved. So whenever you say, I want to add a new perk, he knows what to do, right? He knows exactly where to add what. You can just connect probably like with N8N or maybe a webhook or something with Notion API key that
sure.
You just have a template in Notion, you create a new perk, you set it on live, and then he will pick it up. He will pick all the content and everything and create the perk page.
Totally.
Like this. I think that could also work.
Definitely, yeah. There's no reason why this wouldn't work. But yeah, it's just it needs to be built once, right? So definitely possible. But also right now, not a huge lift for me to manually, give the instructions. So if we would launch perks every single day, which would be beautiful, then this would make a lot of sense. But if perks are not happening every single day, I think it's still okay to give the manual instructions. So it's always, we can build it out at one point. But what we can do already these days is we can update the Solana ID Hub. So I just want to kind of, consider talking about it a little bit, because this is something that the community also should tell us. Like, I want to know what you guys would like to see in the hub and what changes you'd like to have here, because there's a few things that we could update. Like the whole dashboard is a bit, I don't know if it's if it's great. Like, it can definitely get some updates. The badge section is like huge. I don't know if we need that to be that big. The solid perks are too far down, in my opinion. They should probably be above the fold almost, like that you directly see what you can do here instead of getting just the data up top. So we could reorder, like we can do some visual touch-ups very easily now if we know what we want. So again, we could, put the badge section in a less visible, in your eyes kind of section to get that real estate here for something more important, like the perks. We could work on the data vault again. So right now we only have emails in there. We can think about adding some social logins. So you can connect your Twitter, or you can connect your whatever other socials we want to plug into the system as well. We could use the Twitter Connect as well to derive some new intel on social media activity and social media reputation that we can add to the whole solid score system, potentially even, or have a separate metric for that. We could place the email verification much more prominently on the page, because emails are still, super important. So it is really good to have the email linked to the Solana ID account. Right now, it is all the way to on the bottom here. There's no clear call to action to do it. Even in the sign-up process, you're not being asked to connect an email. So I think this can be improved as well. So those are some changes. We can also come up with new features for the Solana ID Hub that are completely, out of the box, that we don't have yet. So I'm thinking, I'm thinking raffle systems, right? So like an XP/raffle system where you can collect XP from claiming perks. And then based on your XP, we can also merge this with the karma system. If you have more activity, so there's like a daily login, maybe like a daily check-in, you get some karma for that or some XP for that. Let's call it XP for now. You claim perks, you get XP for that. So there's a few things you can do. You connect email, you get XP for that. We could use the karma system for that technically while I'm talking now. I realize that. But then there could be a raffle that we do, like in a raffle sprint, like every 2 weeks, every month or something. We're actually distributing part of our marketing budget to the community, to users, for being active in the hub, just to boost the activity rate here, to add another feature. So we have like a prize pot of, let's say, $1,000. And then every single month, as a Solana ID user, you not only have the chance to explore new perks that we show you here, that we secure for you, you also have the chance to win part of that raffle from being active here. So the actual perk becomes the raffle. Especially interesting for perks that are less valuable, because we do have perks like this, the flash trade perk that is actually, I think, right now minted out, which is valuable because you're literally getting $10 for free. But we also have perks like the Netrunner perk, which is, you're not getting anything, but you don't get any financial value. You get a discount, right? Which is cool. But to get something, you would need a raffle, right? You'd need something more appealing to you. So that would be something we can add as well here. Another thing that is top of mind for me would be an inbox system, a notification system, like some way how we can reach our users, how we can actually tell to customers, hey, you're not only getting a perk in our Solana ID Hub, you're also going to get the opportunity to send out notifications and to push out information to users. We can combine this with the email feature. We can do that as an in-app notification system, which is less strong because you still have to log into the app to get the notification. But if you merge it with email, that would actually be really cool. If you have a Solana ID inbox, I'm almost envisioning a standalone app, right? It's a new product, literally. This goes beyond hub updates, by the way, but I'm just making this up as I talk. We could solve one of the biggest internet problems these days, which is email spam and traffic. How do we solve this? Well, we could basically allow advertisers and perk partners to pay you for getting access to your email inbox. So you can make money by connecting your email to Solana ID and then allowing advertisers to push perks, valuable perks at times, to your email directly. And once you read those emails, upon opening these emails, you can actually earn solid tokens that we in real time convert from the marketer's, the customer's budget into solid and then add it to your account. This way, advertisers or perk partners basically buy attention from you, which is the whole idea here, directly in your inbox, right? This way, you get less clutter, because if a marketer is willing to pay $3 or $5 or something to get a spot in your email inbox, I wouldn't count this as spam anymore because there's actually financial value attached to it. It's not easy anymore to bombard you with emails. It actually costs something for them to do that. I think this is directionally also a very interesting idea. So yeah, just kind of brainstorming some high level features that we could now much faster iterate on and actually implement in real time. So this whole segment, this whole yapping right now from me, basically is about, hey, if you have any wishes for the product, if you have any ideas, let us know. Comment on Twitter and tell it us in the Telegram chat, or say it here in the Solid Talk chats always, because we'll be able to be quicker in implementing these things now, and we have much less capital that we have to deploy to launch things like this, because we can literally build it ourselves without paying devs for it, because our agents are running for free 24/7. So yeah, just some high-level ideas directionally. The agentic traffic agency route, what we covered today, is one thing that we're like, this is one big strategic pivot this year, where we said, okay, let's focus less on the Solana display network because of some reasons, and let's focus more on new distribution channels where we have more ownership of, where we have more control of, than the display network, where we need to rely on display partners' willingness to display things. The traffic agency is much more in our control, because if we set up correctly, we can reach people, period. So that's one big thing, but also we can do significant updates to the actual product, the consumer-facing product, which is in our case Solana ID Hub, or potentially even the Solana ID app, right? So yeah, lots of ideas and interesting things to ponder on, and then eventually implement actionable.
Nice.
Cool. Yes, sir. Now, I think we went definitely through lots of juice here in this talk. It has been pretty much nonstop yapping since 1.5 hours. The time is flying on Solid Talks. I think we can bring it to an end, ladies and gents. If you managed to be with us until right now, then definitely chapeau to you. Thanks for joining. But make sure to get your hands on the NFT. If you haven't done it yet, it is very easy. So before we wrap it up now, again, talk.solana.id. If you haven't claimed it yet, the secret code is AI, and you're going to get this collectible as proof of participation for today's Solid Talk for free. So make sure to do that. Besides this, I think it is time to call it a day and wrap up today's session. Do you have anything to add, Pierre, or are you good to go?
No, I'm good.
Awesome. Cool. Then, yeah.
Yeah.
Ladies and gents, thank you so much for joining Solid Talk number 79. Make sure to pull up again next week for the 18th version of Solid Talk. Same space, same time. We'll see you again here. You enjoy your weekend. If it's sunny, get some sun wherever you are. And have a good Sunday as well, if this is already the end of your day, or enjoy your Saturday if it's still beginning or midday for you. We'll see you at the next one. Until then, make sure to get solid, or at least stay solid. Thank you so much for joining, and until next week. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.